Super Mario 64. This game needs no introduction. It was 1996. The Nintendo 64 console was new, gamers were ready for something special. Then, Super Mario 64 arrived. It was a launch title for the console. This game was not just another adventure. It was a revolution. Super Mario 64 was special for many reasons. The most important, it was the first 3D platformer starring our favorite plumber. This was a big deal. Gamers were used to seeing Mario in 2D. Now he was free to move in a 3D world. The game was an instant success. Players and critics loved it. It was praised for its gameplay, graphics, and music. Super Mario 64 was not just a game, it was a landmark achievement in video game history. Before Super Mario 64, 3D gaming was in its early stages. There were 3D games, of course, but they were often clunky and difficult to control. Super Mario 64 changed everything. The game introduced us to a new way to experience platformers. Mario could run, jump, and explore in a fully realized 3D environment. The controls were intuitive and responsive. This made the game fun and engaging to play. Super Mario 64 set a new standard for 3D gaming. It showed the world what was possible in this new frontier. The impact on the industry was immense. Super Mario 64 was the result of hard work and vision. A talented team at Nintendo brought this game to life. At the helm was Shigeru Miyamoto, the legendary creator of Mario. Miyamoto's guidance and creativity were essential to the game's success. He envisioned a game that would fully utilize the power of the Nintendo 64. He wanted to create a world that was fun to explore and full of surprises. The team also included talented programmers, designers, and artists. They worked tirelessly to overcome the technical limitations of the time. Their dedication and passion are evident in every aspect of the game. Creating a 3D game in the mid-90s was no easy task. The technology was still in its infancy. The Nintendo 64 was powerful for its time, but it still had limitations. One of the biggest challenges was creating smooth and responsive 3D movement. The team spent countless hours optimizing the game's engine. They wanted to ensure that Mario moved gracefully through the environments. Another challenge was creating believable 3D graphics. The artists used innovative techniques to create detailed textures and models. They pushed the limits of what was possible on the Nintendo 64 hardware. Section 5. A camera with a mind of its own, designing intuitive controls. One of the most innovative aspects of Super Mario 64 was its camera system. Controlling the camera in three-dimensional games was a major challenge back then, but the team at Nintendo found a solution. They introduced a dynamic camera that followed Mario's movements. Players could also control the camera using the C buttons on the Nintendo 64 controller. This gave players more freedom to explore the three-dimensional environments. The camera system in Super Mario 64 was revolutionary. It set a new standard for three-dimensional game design. It allowed players to focus on the gameplay without struggling with the camera. Section 6. A world of possibilities. Level design in a 3D space. Super Mario 64 featured a series of open-world levels. This was a departure from the linear levels of previous Mario games. Players were free to explore these levels at their own pace. Each level was filled with secrets, challenges, and collectibles. Players had to use all of Mario's abilities to find everything. The levels were designed to encourage exploration and experimentation. The open-world design of Super Mario 64 was groundbreaking. It influenced countless 3D platformers that followed. It showed the potential of 3D level design. Section 7. A legacy of innovation. Super Mario 64's enduring impact. Super Mario 64 left an undeniable mark on the gaming industry. Its influence can still be felt today. Many of the conventions it established are still used in modern 3D games. The game's impact goes beyond just platformers. It influenced the development of 3D games in general. From action-adventure games to role-playing games, Super Mario 64's DNA can be seen everywhere. The game's legacy is a testament to its innovation and quality. It showed the world what 3D gaming could be. It inspired a generation of game developers. Section 8. From Inspiration to Evolution 3. D-Gaming after Mario. Super Mario 64 ushered in a new era of 3D gaming. It inspired countless developers to create their own 3D masterpieces. The years that followed saw an explosion of 3D games. Games like Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, and Spyro the Dragon built upon the foundation laid by Super Mario 64. They refined the 3D platforming formula and introduced new ideas. Super Mario 64's influence wasn't limited to platformers. Games like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and Metal Gear Solid also borrowed elements from its design. These games pushed the boundaries of storytelling and gameplay in 3D. Section 9. A timeless classic, Super Mario 64's place in gaming history. Over 2 decades later, Super Mario 64 remains a beloved classic. Its gameplay still holds up remarkably well. It's a testament to the timeless design of the game. The game continues to inspire and entertain players of all ages. It's a reminder of the power of innovation and creativity in video games. Super Mario 64 is more than just a game. It's a piece of gaming history. It's a reminder of a time when 3D gaming was new and exciting. It's a game that will continue to be enjoyed for generations to come.